जय गुरुजी, नमस्ते गुरुजी। गुरु महाराज के चरणों में सादर प्रणाम। संगत जी, with Guruji Maharaj's immense grace and blessings, we are reading his divine Granth, the Light of Divinity. And to continue the journey, today we will be reading the Satsang documented in the Granth under the title, The Divine Healer Treats the Doctors. Even the best of human beings are capable of nothing more than great empathy when they see someone in distress. Mahapurushes like Guruji can, however, take on the sufferings of others upon themselves to lessen their pain and make their faith sturdy. Dr. Brigadier Saini's experiences with Guruji bear this statement out. The doctor, a specialist in medicine, is not only a first-hand witness to the divine healing power, but also its beneficiary. Spooning out spondylitis. Dr. Saini was in Jalandhar and his house was near Guruji's temple, but he could not have darshans of the Mahapurush initially. When he did, it was as if blessings unendingly started flowing into his life. The doctor's wife, a devotee of Guruji, had cervical spondylitis, which led to the severe neck pain. She was being treated with physiotherapy and analgesic. This was towards the end of 1996, and the Guruji was in Panchkula, that is a township adjacent to Chandigarh. One day, the doctor was with Guruji and the Sangat. Dr. Saini's responsibility was to take a round of the ICU in the evening, and he asked Guruji whether he could go to the hospital. Guruji reassured him that all his patients were well, but allowed him to go. When the doctor returned, Guruji said he had cured his wife. The doctor was told that Guruji had applied a spoon. The doctor calls it Guruji's all-in-one gadget. His X-ray machines, echocardiograph, ultrasound and CT scanner. To the back of his devotee's neck, relief was instantaneous and no other treatment was ever required. Guruji plays Dr. Goodheart. A year later, it was the doctor himself who was treated. By then, Guruji had moved to Chandigarh and the doctor had gone for darshan there. One day, Guruji said that the sole of his foot was paining. The doctor examined it and found that a particular point was tender and promised to bring the analgesic cream the day after. Guruji refused the offer. Dr. Saini, who was by then a senior advisor in the medicine department, told Guruji that the army hospital had recently acquired a new laser therapy machine and requested that he be treated by it. After some time, Guruji came to the doctor and asked that the laser treatment be given to him for 3 days. The doctor said that 10 days would help more. Then Guruji let out what he was up to, telling the doctor that he was really visiting the hospital for the doctor's welfare. And this was borne out 2 weeks later. The doctor had chest pain and an ECG showed heart changes. The hospital cardiologist advised him to spend some time in ICU as this would foreshadow a heart attack. The worried doctor phoned up Guruji and Guruji prescribed a remedy. When Dr. Saini came out of ICU, he went to Guruji. The master laid him down on the carpet and passed a clean stainless spoon all over his body. Thereafter, the doctor's heart was investigated by the Army's Research and Referral Hospital at New Delhi. A battery of diagnostic tests, the treadmill, echocardiograph, the thallium scan, all reported that his heart was normal. The yearly clinical investigations the Army compulsory carries out showed he was symptom-free and he never required more treatment. The divine healer had thus treated the doctor by inverting the doctor-patient relationship. Guruji had become his patient for 3 days to take laser treatment and had done away with whatever was afflicting his devotee. The Satguru's grace extended to even those who are not his devotees. It is as if everyone is suffering in his own. Take the case of Colonel Madan, another specialist in medicine who worked with Dr. Saini. Colonel Madan had been a heart patient for a long time. He had already had a bypass done after a coronary artery had been blocked. But Colonel Madan still experienced chest pain and breathlessness, which was threatening to incapacitate him from the performance of his medical duties. It was so found that the bypass channel too was blocked. This was grave news. Brigadier Saini and General Ahuja, another of Guruji's devotee, advised Colonel Madan to seek Guruji's refuge. And so Colonel Madan went to Guruji. Guruji gave him his blessings through a copper tumbler and also advised him to wear a necklace with a pendant, blessed by Guruji, in the shape of an Om. Colonel Madan's health started improving immediately. After a few months, when an angiography was done, the results were astonishing. The original or native artery, which the doctors had bypassed, had opened. Dr. Saini met Colonel Madan later in 2003 when he had come to visit Guruji in Empire State. In Guruji's spiritual code, the doctors related the story of miraculous care of everyone in sincere thanksgiving to the divine healer who saved him. And a leaking heart valve normalizes. Dr. Saini's wife had suffered rheumatic fever in childhood, and hidden from her and from everybody else, her left or mitral valve had borne the brunt of the fever and was leaking. It was her doctor husband who first suspected her problem. Ever since, she has had an echocardiography done over once every 2 years. In 2003, when Dr. Saini was at the Army Research and Referral Hospital in New Delhi as consultant, his wife complained of breathlessness while walking. The echocardiograph showed a severe degree of leakage, or what is medically known as mitral recognition. She was advised to have the heart valve replaced. In the intervening period, she was given medicines to control the symptoms and was told that the drug prescribed, Ramipril, could lead to coughing in certain cases. One day the couple was with Guruji when the lady devotee mentioned that she would not take the medicine as it was making her cough. Guruji simply said, "Okay." As they were leaving the Satguru's room, he said, "I bless your heart." He further advised Dr. Saini to get his wife examined from AIIMS, head of cardiology, Dr. Talwar, to remove any doubt. After Dr. Saini had explained his wife's condition to Dr. Talwar, the doctor took her to the examining room and spent quite some time in the investigation. He came out of the room surprised. He said that since Dr. Saini had told him of the condition his wife was suffering, he had taken his time to check for a damaged left valve, but said the famous doctor he had found nothing wrong. Guruji's divine blessings on his devotee's heart had worked wonders. Dr. Saini says medical science cannot even dream of doing what Guruji had accomplished with his sparse words. Adamant cancer wilts. In May of 2002, Dr. Saini was diagnosed with a severe type of cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, known for its resistance to treatment. This cancer attacks the endocrine system. The doctor received treatment for 9 months. He did not feel the side effects of chemotherapy, and as patient of NHL, his quick response to the treatment surprised even doctors. Evidently, Guruji's blessings were secretly at work. Within a year, the disease went into remission. But in 2004, 3 lymph nodes in his right groin swelled up again. A PET scan showed cancer cells. The glands were operated upon and taken out. The doctor was then advised to go for a bone marrow exam. He prayed to Guruji, and the merciful master gave him the date for the examination. The doctor feared that with the positive results, he would have 5 more months of chemotherapy. However, thanks to Guruji's blessings, the tests were negative. Sadhguru extends life of doctor's mother. Dr. Saini's mother was suffering. She had a carcinoma in her breast, heart disease, and rheumatoid arthritis. By the end of 2000, she was in poor condition. She suddenly collapsed one day and had to be taken to a private hospital. She was in shock. Her heart had stopped and her blood pressure and pulse were barely recordable. While events were unfolding thus at home, Dr. Saini's niece was at the Jalandhar temple. She was weeping silently since she knew her grandmother's life was fading. The omniscient Guru, however, forestalled the grandmother's demise, telling the niece that her grandmother's life had been extended by 5 years. Even as Guruji spoke, in the hospital, Dr. Saini's mother showed remarkable signs of recovery and she lived for 5 more years. The Guru's kripa or grace is extraordinary. It is like God in his mother aspect. Her heart weeps for the misery her children go through. And though they may be good or bad, they may be her devotee or they may be atheists, neck deep in materialism, her Shakti, her divine power rushes to their aid. Medical technicians are blessed. One day in 1998, Guruji informed Dr. Saini that he would be coming in the evening to the military hospital at Chandi Mandir for a blood checkup and ultrasonography. The blood test was done. The technician, an old hand, was surprised. He found that even on repeated examination for blood sugar, the reading was coming to 8 mg to 15 mg. The technician knew this was way below normal limits, and at these levels, a man could not survive. He told Dr. Saini that this patient could not be from earth. Guruji blessed the technician and told him that he would be promoted, as he subsequently was. A radiologist from Bhatinda, Major Sinha, was a similar beneficiary of Guruji's grace. The radiologist was on temporary duty at Chandi Mandir when Guruji came in for an ultrasound. Major Sinha did the ultrasound of the abdomen and concluded it was normal. Guruji blessed him, saying he would have 2 sons and would get promoted to the rank of Major General. An uncomprehending major told Guruji he had 1 son and that was sufficient. In 2004, Dr. Saini met Dr. Saini met Major Sinha at the Research and Referral Hospital in New Delhi. Major Sinha was now Lieutenant Colonel Sinha and was training in nuclear medicine at the Army Hospital. Dr. Saini asked him if he remembered Guruji's blessings. His colleague did. In fact, he told Dr. Saini that at the time Guruji had made his remark, his wife had been told by a gynecologist that she could not have another child. But she had, thanks to Guruji's blessings. Saved and saved again. The Sainis were returning to Chandigarh after visiting Guruji in New Delhi. The Delhi-Chandigarh highway was then on a one-way road. They had left the Sangat quite late at night and the family was dozing in the car. Dr. Saini too fell asleep at the wheel. Their car veered off to the right and on the path of the truck. His wife's hand brushed his shoulder and the doctor woke with a jerk. He reflexively turned the car to the left and the truck passed by, missing them by inches. Who had been awake? Which unblinking eye had seen the truck and who had willed the sleeping wife's hand to move and alerted the doctor? The answer was very clear in 2004. Guruji had told Sajal, Dr. Saini's dentist son, to take furlough from his medical duties. At that time, Sajal used to travel to the bus stop on his scooter and then take the bus to Sona. It was August and the road was wet. Sajal was going home on his scooter when he swerved to avoid a reversing vehicle only to collide with another. He fell off the scooter. The Sainis, meanwhile, were with Guruji and he suddenly asked them where their son was. They told him he must be coming home from office. Just then, the Saini's phone rang and Sajal's wife told them of the accident. They immediately went home, but Sajal had been saved. He had been carried from the accident spot to home by helpful onlookers. It itself is a rarity in Delhi, but he had nothing worse than a few stitches on his nose. From the hospital, he directly went to Guruji in thanksgiving for saving him. Sajal now says that his birthday should henceforth be celebrated on the day Guruji saved him, for he has been granted a new life. Shukrana Guruji. Sangatji, this satsang is as narrated of Dr. Brigadier Saini, formerly consultant in medicine, Army Research and Referral Hospital, New Delhi. And while reading his satsang, I must have made lot of mistakes. I seek forgiveness from our Guruji and all of you with folded hands. Thank you, Guruji. Shukrana Malik.